Honey, pull up a chair and pour yourself something strong because the story I am about to tell you is going to make your blood boil. We are talking about the kind of betrayal that makes you question humanity, the kind of public humiliation that leaves scars, and the kind of petty, scorched earth revenge that tastes sweeter than the finest dessert. You know that saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned? Well, let me tell you, a husband who has been treated like a doormat by the love of his life has a pretty intense fury, too. Let me tell you how we got here. My name is Marcus, and up until last Sunday, I thought I had a pretty decent life. I've been married to Elena for 5 years. Elena is, or was, my entire world. She's smart, ambitious, and beautiful. But ever since she started working at Prestige Global, things shifted. She became obsessed with climbing the corporate ladder, which I supported. What I didn't support was her boss, Julian. Julian is the textbook definition of a narcissistic nightmare. You know the type. Overtanned, veneers so white they glow in the dark, and an ego that takes up more space than the furniture. He loves to be the center of attention. He's the kind of guy who thinks being brutally honest is a personality trait, when really he's just a bully with a paycheck. He's homophobic, he's sexist, he's a closet racist, and he hides it all behind this veneer of corporate excellence. I never liked Julian, and Julian hated me. Why? Because I didn't worship him like the rest of his sycophants. So it's the annual summer solstice party at Julian's massive, gaudy estate. Imagine a house that screams new money so loud it hurts your ears. Roman columns where they don't belong, gold leaf on the toilet handles, you get the picture. He had the whole place decorated like some sort of Midsummer Night's fever dream. It was overdone, tacky, and crowded. I was already on edge. I had caught Elena giggling at her phone way too many times in the weeks leading up to this. She was always working late, always strategizing with Julian. But I trusted her. I was the supportive husband. I went to this party, put on my best smile, and played the role of the trophy husband, even though I felt like an outsider looking in. We were watching some sports game in his massive home theater, and I saw Elena under the mistletoe. Yes, mistletoe in July, don't ask. Laughing a little too hard at Julian's jokes. But I swallowed my pride. I just wanted the night to end. I was hoping Elena would get her quarterly bonus award so we could leave, go home, and maybe, just maybe, reconnect. Dinner was a nightmare. Julian had set up this hierarchy. The corporate elite, his favorites, sat at the long mahogany table. The rest of us, the spouses, the lesser employees, we were relegated to folding chairs at card tables in the corner. I felt like a kid at the reject table in the cafeteria. The alcohol was flowing. Julian was drunk on wine and power. He stood up to give a toast, which was really just a monologue about how great he is. He was nitpicking everyone, making little jabs that people laughed at nervously because they wanted to keep their jobs. Then he turned his dead, shark-like eyes on me. The room went quiet. He pointed a manicured finger right at my face. And then there's Marcus, Julian slurred, a cruel grin spreading across his face. Poor Marcus. Our charity case. You know, Elena, I still don't know how you settled for this. He looks like he should be parking the cars, not eating the food. The room gasped. I froze. I looked at Elena, expecting her to stand up, expecting her to say, "Hey, that's my husband, shut up." Instead, she covered her mouth and then she laughed. It wasn't a nervous chuckle. It was a full-bellied laugh. She was laughing with him. She was laughing at me. Julian continued, emboldened by her reaction. I mean, seriously, by the time I was 25, I had my first million. By the time Marcus here was 25, what were you doing? Flipping burgers? Elena tells us you're still trying to find yourself. Frankly, I think Elena is just your parole officer. The whole room erupted. The elite table was howling. Elena, my wife, the woman I vowed to protect and honor. She didn't look at me. She was looking at Julian, her eyes shining with admiration, laughing at his jokes while he eviscerated my dignity. I sat there, stone-faced. The heat rose in my chest, not from embarrassment, but from a cold, hard rage. I realized in that moment that my marriage wasn't dying. It was already dead. The corpse was just rotting in a folding chair. When the laughter died down, I stood up. The chair scraped loudly against the floor. Silence fell over the room. I looked Julian dead in the eye. I kept my voice calm, but loud enough to reach the back of the room. Julian, that's funny. I remember you telling a story about your humble beginnings on that goat farm upstate. We all know what that really means. Julian's smile faltered. Excuse me? We know why you got sent to boarding school, Julian, I said, making up the most visceral, damaging lie I could think of on the spot, anchored in his own insecurity. You didn't lose your virginity to a supermodel. You lost it in the barn with the livestock, pants down around your ankles, bleeding for forgiveness, Elena gasped. Marcus! Yeah, I continued, walking toward the door. Those videos of people feeding baby goats must really get you going, huh, Julian? Does it make you nostalgic? Marcus, stop, Elena shrieked. It wasn't a plea for me to stop hurting. It was a plea for me to stop embarrassing her. I turned to her. The room was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. And you, I said, looking at my wife with pure disgust. Your lovely boss here, does he make you bleat like a goat when you're working late? Does he make you wear the ears? Get the hell out of my house, you idiot, Julian screamed, his face turning a violent shade of purple. He pointed at the door, his hand shaking. I didn't scream back. I grabbed a half-empty beer bottle from a nearby table, downed the rest of it in one swig, toasted him with it, and walked out. I didn't look back, not once. If you are already shook by the audacity of this woman, hit that like button right now because, honey, I haven't even gotten to the petty part yet. It gets so much worse. I got to my car, and the first thing I did was turn off my phone. I knew the blow-up was coming, and I didn't want to hear it. I drove straight to our house. I didn't cry. I was in tactical mode. I packed a bag, just the essentials. Then I walked into the kitchen. I took off my wedding ring. I found our marriage certificate in the safe. I tore it into 4 pieces and left it on the counter next to the ring. Then I went to the photo albums. Every picture of us. The wedding, the vacations, the holidays, I took them all. I drove to a motel on the edge of town, a seedy place where they don't ask questions. I found a dumpster around the back, and I threw every single memory of us into the trash. I sat on the lumpy motel bed and stared at the wall. I didn't have proof, not concrete proof, but I knew Elena's refusal to defend me, her laughter, the late nights. She was sleeping with him. If her career meant more to her than my basic human dignity, she could have him. I opened my laptop. Thank God for online banking. I opened a new account solely in my name. I transferred my share of our savings, every single penny I had contributed, into it. I emptied the joint checking. I left her with nothing but her own paycheck and her credit cards. This was war. Monday morning, I woke up in that motel room feeling strange, not sad, just cold. I went to work. I kept my phone off. At the end of the day, a buddy of mine, Dave, came up to my desk. Hey man, just a heads up. There's a woman pacing around your car in the lot. Looks like she's waiting for you. It was Elena, of course. I had expense reports to finish, so I stayed at my desk until 9 p.m. I hoped she would give up. She didn't. When I finally walked out to the dark parking lot, she popped out from behind an SUV. What are you doing here? I asked, not breaking stride. Cut the crap, Marcus, she hissed. She looked frantic. My credit card was declined today. My checking account is 0. And you tore up the marriage certificate? Put your ring back on right now. I stopped and laughed. It was a dry, hollow sound. The savings account is empty too, by the way. I took what was mine. Keep the ring. Pawn it if you need cash. Can't you take a joke? She screamed, stomping her foot like a child. You are such a thin-skinned, pathetic child. Go to hell. Or better yet, go back and apologize to Julian. I'm done with you, Elena, I said calmly. Go to hell. Go to Julian. I don't care. Over what? She yelled, blocking my path to the driver's side door. Because I laughed at a joke? That's how corporate politics works, Marcus. I was networking. You call that networking? I call it humiliation. Unless you want a face full of bug spray, get out of my way. I reached into my bag and pulled out a can of high-strength mosquito repellent I kept for hiking. I wasn't bluffing. You wouldn't dare, she sneered. I shook the can. She stepped back, looking at me like I was a stranger. What is wrong with you? She shouted as I got in the car. What's wrong with me? I rolled down the window just an inch. I had a wife who decided to laugh at me, not with me. If you loved me, you would have told Julian to shove it. Instead, you joined the circus. Goodbye, Elena. I drove off, leaving her standing there in the dark. Tuesday came. I avoided my usual coffee shop, found a new place. The coffee was better anyway. When I came out to my car after work on Tuesday, there was a note under the wiper. Marcus, forgive me. I should have stood up for you. I was drunk. I was scared of losing my job. Please come home. I love you. Elena. I crumbled it up and threw it in the trash. Silence is a powerful weapon, folks. Without my phone on, I was unreachable. I was a ghost. Wednesday. As I was leaving work, a guy was leaning on my car. Tall, good-looking in a slimy way. I recognized him from the party. Mr. Mysterious. Marcus, he said, smirking. I wanted to apologize for the other night. We were all just having fun. I didn't say a word. I just reached into my bag, pulled out that bug spray, and sprayed a stream right at his chest. Hey, he coughed, backing away, waving his hands. Mental note, I muttered to myself. Buy more bug spray. He wheezed. You're a pathetic loser, you know that? By the way, everyone knows. I'm sleeping with your wife too. You're a cuckold, Marcus. My stomach dropped. I knew it. Hearing it out loud was like a punch to the gut, but it also gave me clarity. He laughed, wiped his shirt, and walked off. I wish I had recorded it. Thursday, Elena was back in the parking lot. This time she wasn't angry. She was dressed up, like really dressed up, a dress way too short for office work. Marcus, please, she pleaded as I approached. Come home. I looked her up and down. You look like the company mistress in that outfit. Is that for Julian? Or does he share you with the other guys now? Did you know your friend told me he's sleeping with you too? Her face went pale. If he said that, he's lying. I have been faithful to you. Marcus, I swear. I don't know you anymore, I said, feeling the exhaustion hit me. I don't like you anymore, and frankly, I don't love you anymore. 5 years, Elena, all a mistake. Don't say that! Tears started streaming down her face, ruining her makeup. I love you. Look, can I show you something, please? She pulled out her phone. Her hands were shaking. She played a video. It wasn't filmed by her. It was shaky footage, clearly taken by a coworker. It showed Elena back at the party about 5 minutes after I had left. In the video, Elena walks up to Julian, who is still ranting. Thank you all for taking a moment. Video Elena shouts over the noise. I did something stupid tonight. I let my husband be humiliated. So Julian, go to hell, I quit. Then on the screen, my wife, my quiet corporate wife, spits right in Julian's face. She turns around and walks out. Elena lowered the phone. I went home right after. I changed into this dress today for you, Marcus, not him. I quit my job. I walked away from the bonus. He told you we slept together? That's a lie. He wishes, but I never did. I stared at her. My brain was short-circuiting. That guy? He said I was a cuckold. He's a liar, Elena sobbed. He's Julian's lackey. They're trying to break us because I embarrassed Julian. Marcus, I am willing to take a lie detector test. I will do anything. Just tell me what to do. I looked at her. Really looked at her. She was a mess. She was desperate. Why did you laugh? I asked, my voice cracking. Why did you let him talk to me like that? I was a coward, she whispered. I was so desperate for their approval. It was pathetic. I hate myself for it. Please, Marcus. I wanted to hug her. God help me, I did. But the trust was shattered. I need time, I said. I'm staying at a hotel. Give me space. She nodded, wiping her eyes. Okay, I'll wait. Forever, if I have to. We went to a diner that night. It was awkward. We ate in silence mostly. But when I left, she looked so broken. I kissed her on the forehead. Don't seek comfort from anyone else, I warned her. Never, she said. I love you. I went back to my hotel room. I forwarded that video she showed me to Julian's wife. Yeah, I had her email. If he wants to call me a cuckold, let's see how his wife feels about him sexually harassing employees. Make sure you are subscribed because the update I'm about to drop involves a physical brawl and a legal team that would scare the devil himself. Friday. I checked out of the hotel. I was ready to possibly go home. But as I pulled into my work parking lot, I saw a familiar luxury car, Julian. He didn't see the security guards I had alerted earlier. He charged at me as I got out of my car. You bastard, he screamed. My wife saw the video. I'm going to kill you. I didn't have my bug spray this time. I had actual pepper spray I bought the day before. As he swung at me, I unleashed a cloud of orange mist right into his eyes. He screamed, clutching his face, but he flailed blindly and managed to kick me right in the groin. I went down. He got one good punch in before 2 security guards tackled him to the pavement. The police came. Julian was dragged away in handcuffs, screaming threats, assault, death threats. It was all on camera. I spent the weekend in the hotel again, icing my face and my ego. Elena left voicemails begging to see me, but I ignored them. I needed to think. Monday. I came out of work to find 2 men in suits waiting for me. Not Julian this time. Lawyers. Mr. Williams, the short one said, I'm Eric Brody, acting CEO of Prestige Global. This is James from Legal. We need to talk about your wife. We sat on the hood of my car. We want Elena back, Brody said. She was our best team lead. We know things got messy with Julian. He's been fired, obviously, but we need her to return. Messy? I asked. Is that what you call it? James, the legal guy, cleared his throat. Listen, we know there were rumors Julian and Elena were overly friendly, but our investigation shows no policy violations during work hours. However, we can't speak to what happened off the clock. My heart stopped. Overly friendly? Look, James said, looking uncomfortable. It's well known in the office they had a dynamic. We just want her back. I stood up. I think you'd better leave. I drove to a sports bar and called Elena. Ricky, when are you coming home? She chirped. I just spoke to your company's lawyers, I said coldly. They said you and Julian were overly friendly. Care to explain? Silence. Ricky, I told you I was faithful. Let me ask you this, I said, my voice trembling. Would you have done the things you did with him if your mother was standing right next to you? The silence stretched on for 10 seconds. That was my answer. I was faithful, she repeated, her voice smaller. Just not honest. I gave you a chance, I said. Goodbye. I hung up. I bought a burner phone. I moved to a different hotel. For a week, I ghosted her. I needed the truth, not her version of the truth, the objective truth. A week later, a courier dropped a package at my work reception. It was from Elena. Inside was a certified polygraph test result and a signed post-nuptial agreement. I sat in my car and read the polygraph results. Question: have you had sexual intercourse with anyone other than your husband during the marriage? Answer: no. True. Question: did you have an emotional affair? Answer: yes. True. Question: did you cross physical boundaries? Kissing, touching? Answer: no. True. Question: did you enjoy the attention from Julian? Answer: yes. True. Question: do you love your husband? Answer: yes. True. She admitted to the emotional affair. She admitted to the flirting, the validation, the work-wife dynamic, but she hadn't slept with him. I looked at the post-nup. It said that if she ever cheats or even hides a communication with a man again, I get everything. The house, the savings, the retirement, 100%. She had signed it. I turned my phone back on. I texted her, dinner, tonight, the diner. She showed up in jeans and a hoodie, no makeup. She looked exhausted. I was foolish, she said, tears in her eyes immediately. I liked that a powerful man paid attention to me. It made me feel special. And I let it go too far emotionally. I disrespected you. But I never slept with him, Marcus. I swear. The lawyers want you back, I said. I know, she said. They offered me a raise. Julian is gone. I told them I'd only come back if I can work remotely 3 days a week so I can focus on my marriage. I looked at the post-nup on the table. If I find out you lied about anything, I said, tapping the paper, I will divorce you and leave you with nothing. This is your one strike. I know, she whispered. I won't need it. Can you ever forgive me? I reached out and took her hand. It was cold. I'm working on it, I said. We celebrated Christmas in a weird, intense bubble. Elena was trying hard, too hard maybe, but she glued the marriage certificate back together. It sits on her dresser now. Ugly tape marks and all, as a reminder of how close she came to losing everything. As for Julian, Elena got her job back, plus a massive retention bonus, which was basically hush money from the company to avoid a lawsuit over the assault. And the petty revenge? Oh, it's sweet. We found out Julian got a lower-level job at a firm 2 towns over. Remember the goat joke I made? Every few weeks, Elena and I print out pictures of goats, not just regular goats, goats wearing suits, goats with bad toupees. We mail them to his new office anonymously with little notes like thinking of you and ba-a-d behavior has consequences. We heard through the grapevine that he had a meltdown in the break room because someone left a plastic farm animal on his desk. We're still working on us. Trust takes a lifetime to build and a second to break, but she's trying. And I'm watching. So here is my question for you guys in the comments. Would you have taken her back after the emotional affair and the public humiliation, or should I have used that post-nup to take the money and run? Let me know what you would have done. Thanks for listening to Cheating Secrets. Stay toxic, stay petty, and I'll see you in the next one.